Hi, good morning to everyone. Good to be here, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about sustainability and the way we approach that in Malthouse. So if you cast your minds back, for those of you who are old enough, there was a company called Rover, and they made cars, but they also had a pressings facility in Swindon Pressings, which we supplied for all their tool making. Rover, being one of the prime people who was pushing the green agenda, was saying to us effectively, if you want to carry on trading with us, then you've got to go down, you've got to go for ISO 14001, which we did. It was a struggle. It was hard work, a lot of paperwork, as David was just saying as well with KTP. But nevertheless, we achieved it. But actually, some of the thoughts that came out of that was very enlightening. And we decided the first one, the easy one to have a go at, was rainwater harvesting. And so we tried to think it through, how can we do it? Will it work? And so we started by having a filter on the from the downpipe off the roof and collected water, and that worked. We then had 4 IBCs. These are IBCs, the ones you see around the plastic with the supports of aluminium tubing around them, and they're 1,000 litres each. So we collected 4 of those and realised that we might be doing some damage to our employees. So we then installed an ultraviolet light to kill any bacteria, and that worked. So armed with this success on success, the water that we were taking was then pumped into the grinding division of Malthouse, where we've got 14 lumps and grinders, all of which create a lot of heat when they grind the surface of the steel. And so that started to be looking quite useful. So we then got more of these IBCs. In fact, we got 32 of them and connected them all up. It cost us in spare parts £168, which we'll always remember that figure, plus our labour, of course. And we connected all these up so that it was a good, sustainable item for us. Continuously, every time it rained, we filled up all our containers. And sometimes in the summer, we actually had almost no water left because the occasional bright sunshine would be gobbling up all our stuff, all our water. We were using 1,000 litres per day, and we still are. Then we started to see things actually going wrong. And what was happening is that these IBCs, which are translucent, was encouraging the formation of algae. So now we've taken those out, those 32,000 litres out, and we've put in 2 black plastic containers, and these then allow us to make sure that there's no growth within the containers. So that's working very well. It means now that we don't take hardly any water from the mains, so we save ourselves the money that we would otherwise spend on water, and we only use water now for domestic purposes within the factory. So it's really been a very successful, but a very simple thing to do. The second thing that we decided to do was, if you can imagine that we're cutting steel using a flame and oxygen. So the steel is cut, and as the process moves from the cutting of the Fe to the FeO, ferrous oxide, then sparks are created. That is almost like a dust that settles in the bed of the machines and starts to clog it up. Traditionally, people then get a hand scraper with a bar on the end of it and laboriously pull them out, or leave it till the end of the week and they have a Kango and chip out all the steel and all the iron oxides and do it that way. We decided that we'd see whether we could automate it, which we did. So we've got a bed which has got 2 chains on the opposite sides of the bed. They're connected by these chains, and on the chains there are 2 scrapers. When the steel level, the ferrous oxide falls down, followed by the little bits of steel that might be from the center of the profile, that falls down and is automatically then taken to the back of the machine by this scraper system. We automated this system. It's worked very well. We strengthened it, and then we found that we could have the operator operating 2 machines, because he hadn't got the cleaning system to do. It was done automatically. So that was a big boon to the operator. They weren't getting filthy dirty on a Friday afternoon anymore. It was all automatic. So we patented the system. That's been going very well, and we're still using that and perfecting it and strengthening it. We're cutting up to 500 mil thick plates, so there's a lot of heat. So the recent innovation on that is that we put a water bath, a water table underneath the conveyor, so that takes some of the heat away, and therefore no more bending of that base plate. So that's been really useful. We're continuing on that, and we're looking at other things. Of course, we're looking at solar energy. We're working hard on that to achieve some payback into the national grid. So that's particularly useful. And we've also decided that we actually had some spare land. Couldn't use the land. It was actually a bit of a hill. So what we did there is that we decided to buy and plant 50 trees, all different shapes and sizes. So we've got a complete area which is now green, and we've been rewarded by the fact that we get a great variety of birds that come in there. And this is in the middle of the Black Country, so we think we've scored a few hits there for the world. So we constantly doing things on recycling. It's a great field to investigate. Not difficult. It just needs perseverance, and what is right for you is then developed by yourselves for your benefits. And so that's Malthouse engineering and what our approach has been recently.